Number one, sleeping in. So I do have a bit of a bad habit of sleeping in. So obviously this has an implication. So if I wanted to go to the gym, I have less time to go to the gym or no time to go to the gym, depending on depending what I have on later the day. I I also it also sort of stuffs up sleeping because then you sort of have that thing where you're sleeping like for 10 minutes and snoozing the alarm, sleeping another 10 minutes, snoozing the alarm, whatever. I think it's just better if you were to just wake up and start your day, even if it means you didn't get as much sleep as you probably should have. Um, which brings me to my next bad habit. Habit number two, staying up too late. I'm not someone who stays up like super late. I'm not the sort of person who stays up to like 2:30, like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. But I do sort of get. I normally go to bed probably about 11 when I really should be going to bed about 10 because I want to go to bed so that would allow me to wake up like that the 8 hours after 10 would be 6 a.m. so I can wake up at 6 a.m. Hence I wouldn't do the first bad habit, but um because I'm still staying up late. Obviously, that's a habit I need to cut down on. Um, so the way I want to do it is I want to have a structured night routine, and also a structured morning routine. So I want to be a bit more. I think I just take too long to get ready for bed, like way too long to get ready for bed. Um, so I want to condense the time down. So what I've been doing lately is that I've been timing how long it timing how long it takes me to get ready for bed. That's what I want to do. So I want to really condense down the time that it takes me to like wash my face and brush my teeth and do all that sort of thing, as well like clean up my kitchen. So I want to just have like a real sort of. I also need to. I talked about this before in a previous video. I really need to focus on winding down. I think it can it gets past like 10 p.m. I'm still sort of not really ready to go to bed, so I need to I need to find a way to wind down at the end of the day. Habit number three is eating the wrong foods. Now, I just want to clarify here that when I say the wrong foods, I don't necessarily mean the foods themselves, but I sort of mean like the quantity of certain foods. I think it's okay to have like certain foods every now and then, but I think the problem for me is that I tend to eat too much of like the wrong foods. Um, or I have it's not really the food; it's more like the macros and the micros. Like protein and fats and carbs and sugar and sodium and all that stuff. Um, I need to be a bit more mindful. Or first of all, I need to actually start counting my calories. I'm really bad at counting my calories, so I really need to make an effort to do that. So that way I can find out what I'm consuming in terms of sugar and sodium and stuff like that. I also think I need to identify like mistake. Sometimes I'm thirsty, but I mistake my thirstiness for hungriness. Is that a word? Hungriness? Or like I feel the need to eat when I actually what I need to do is drink water. Um, I never really. A lot of people when they talk about dieting, they say things like oh you need to swap your like soft drinks and power energy drinks for like you need to swap out high sugar drinks for water. The thing is that I don't really drink any of that stuff. I mainly just like drink water. And if I'm not drinking water, then I'm drinking tea. So which is also like very low in calories. But I mostly just drink water and tea. So like I don't really need that advice because I don't do that anyway. But I think that's good advice. But anyway, going back to what I consume is I really need to like pay attention to whether like sometimes I get thirsty and I mistake that for wanting to I get dehydrated. I mistake that for wanting to need food. When in reality I need some water. Bad habit number four, spending too much time on social media. So I could do a whole video on social media going into the implications of that. But I will say here that I do have a problem with social media I spend way too much time on it. I think most people spend too much time on it. In fact, I would probably say that I spend probably less time than the average person, but I still spend too much time on it. Um, I also think I think not just me, but like people in general have like an addiction to the internet, um, where they basically have to be going, Googling all of this stuff, going on news sites, going on to the news, going watching YouTube videos. Hello, um, and it's just too much. And so for me personally, I want to cut it down. I want to cut it down. Even though I said like I think I do consume less than the average person, I do really want to still cut down. So the way I'm going to do it, I think the best way to approach this is simply by decreasing, um, basically just sort of like having a set time to go on social media, um, and say like I set a timer for 20 minutes on Instagram or whatever social media platform I'm on, and when that time is up, I log out and I move on with the day. I also think one thing that people do with social media is that they will use it when they're bored or to pass the time. So obviously, try and find something else. Maybe do a little bit of admin. Um, life admin. Just like do like a calendar, like put in dates for calendar, or do that instead of going on social media. I think that would be much more productive. Or maybe like just write down like a to-do list or something like that. Because you can do that on your phone. You don't have to go on social media and look at all these pictures, of people living their lives while you're not living yours. It's not just the fact that you're consuming that sort of false content and comparing yourselves and viewing content of other people living their lives and making you feel bad. It's not just that aspect, but it's also just sort of like just the thought of looking at your phone like that for a long period of time can also be detrimental. Which brings me to my next point. Habit number 5 is looking at your phone in the mornings. Now, obviously, if your phone is also your alarm, that's sort of hard not to do. But when I say that, I'm talking about like going on social media or just going on your phone in general, in the mornings. This is a real bad habit of mine. I have been getting better with it. I've been cutting down. So I've been like this morning I didn't do it. Like I just sort of started my day without having to look at my phone. I feel like a lot of people, in addition to like just spending too much time on social media, we also spend too much time on our phones in the mornings when we should be getting ready to go to work or just start our day or whatever it is we're going to do for the day. Um, like Instead of going on your phone, um, instead of going on my phone, what I want to do is I want to open up my blinds. So I one of the first things that I want to do in the morning is open up my blinds, letting that sunlight in. Now obviously, some if you wake up very early in the morning and it's still dark, there's not going to be any sunlight, obviously. But I mean, generally speaking, if you wake up at 6 o'clock, wake up at 6 a.m., there is going to be probably a little bit of light coming in, and also like then that like as it even if it is quite dark, as it gets brighter, like that your room will get brighter. Whereas if your blinds are still down and the only light you've seen that morning is light from your phone. Bad habit number 6 is not making a plan. Now, early in this video, I talked about not having a concise nighttime routine, um, but I also think this applies to like the day in general, like the day-to-day planning. So a lot of people have talked. Some people have talked about this idea that at the end of the day, you write down what you want to do for the following day. I definitely think that's a really good idea. I really want to implement that. I just keep forgetting to do that. I actually literally have like this. I'll show you. I literally have a 7 day plan here. I'm not sure what that is. A little bit of paper. I literally have a 7 day plan here where I can just write down what I want to do for the next day. Um, but I can't do that because I keep forgetting. Well, I can do it, but I just can't. I keep forgetting. I know this is more of a lack of a good habit rather than a bad habit, but I wanted to include it in this video because I feel because when I don't plan, I don't have a sense of direction, and then I kind of I don't know what's next. I don't know. I get lost. So I think it's better to, at the end of the day, write down what I need to get done. Not necessarily goals, but sort of just what I want to get done. What's the next step? And just sort of like I've heard, I can't remember who said it, but I think it's like teaching men's fashion or something like that. Who said like write down your three most important goals, not three most important the three most important things you want to do the following day, and also have like other little tiny like not habits, like little tiny tasks you need to do as well under that. So let me know if you have any bad habits that you're trying to get rid of, or perhaps you've already overcome your bad habits. Please let me know how you did that. What are some of the good habits you replaced those bad habits with? And let me know.